Hey family, how y'all doing? Hope you're having a nice day. So family, today in this video I want to talk about authenticity, and I want to share 5 signs that you are an authentic person. I got a few things to share. So being authentic, first of all, is being true to yourself and being true to your values. So let's get into it. Number 1. The first sign that you are an authentic person is that you are not letting other people or the media tell you how to be, what to want, or how to navigate your journey. You're not letting people tell you how to do this, how your journey's supposed to go. A lot of people think they have all the answers. And what did Badu say? She said, the man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. So if you knew something, you would know that you don't really know much, okay? People think they have all the answers, but nobody has all the answers, fam. And they damn sure don't have the answers for your journey and how you're supposed to do it, right? So that would be number 1. Now let me share the reason why this is number 1. So last week I was very annoyed, and that's why I didn't record. So it was last week, I think to the week before that, towards the end of the week. There's a YouTuber, a woman, who commented on my shadow self video, the more recent one that I made. And I responded kind of snappy, but I deleted it, right? Because I just was like, you know, don't feed into it. I tried to kind of like just ignore that, push it away, but it kept bothering me. And so last week I was ready to make a video about it. And I was like, that video, listen, my spirit guides directed me away from making the video. They real slick. I just love them, right? But that video I probably would have felt bad about it and deleted it later, because I was about to dive into my shadow side. I was ready to pop off, okay? So I'm glad I just, I got shown that I need to wait, and so I won't be so upset, and I can actually respond instead of reacting, because that's what would happen last week. So the comment that this woman left went a little something like this. She said, lady, you copied my video and you didn't give me credit, and you should give credit. And my subscribers told me that they were suggested to your video after watching mine, and I'm the only one who used the term shadow self, and you're not giving the correct information, and you're doing it wrong because the angels didn't give you the answers. And so it's funny now, but I was quite annoyed last week, right? Now, I don't think she realized that, what was it, about maybe 6 months ago, last year sometime, I made a video called Shadow Work, how to heal your shadow self. So I used the word shadow self then. So but this woman clearly convinced herself that I copied her, because I think at the time that I made the last shadow self video, she made one around the same time. So naturally I had to have copied her, right? Now, I didn't look at her video to see what she was talking about in that video, or if there was any similarities, but I did click on the channel, and from what I can see, I can guarantee you that the only similarities between me and her video would be the word shadow self. That would be the only similarities, because we do 2 different things here, right? Over here, we don't focus on everyone else. We don't spend all of our time talking about this person is that, person is this, and this is wrong with that person, this is a narcissist. And we don't do that. We don't do that here. We do real inner work. Now, we might have to address some things and mention a couple of things, just as I'm doing now sometimes, because we ain't no punks. But at the same time, we don't spend all of our time focusing on what everybody else is doing and what's wrong with everyone else. We focus on ourselves, because sometimes you have these people that you claim are such horrible people. They're around you, and you have a lot to do with why they're around you. So we focus on ourselves. That's the real inner work, right? right? And these people are people that call themselves coaching people and teaching people. And that's why I don't call myself no coach or no teacher. I'm not no coach and no teacher. I don't accept money from you all to give you anything. I don't even accept donations. And that's something I need to work on. I have a lot of people telling me that I should accept donations and put my Cash App up and let people sow into me. And I get that. That's something that I'm working on. That's more healing. Obviously, that's an issue within me where I always want to give and I have a problem receiving. And that's something I need to work on. We see things about ourselves. The same thing as this woman commenting on my channel. It triggered me. So that tells me that I have healing to do, right? Because I shouldn't be so bothered by what people say. As long as I know what the truth is, I shouldn't be bothered by that. But that just goes to show how I have healing to do. And I recognize that and I acknowledge that, right? And so me sharing how this affected me, that's being me. That's being who I am, right? So fam, when you do things from the heart and from a place of authenticity, you don't need credit from no human. You don't need credit from no human. The universe, the divine rewards you for doing things from the heart and from a place of authenticity, right? So you don't need credit, fam. Let's just get that out the way before we think and see, fam, this is why you have to remain humble. This is why we have to humble ourselves, because imagine how ridiculous you look to somebody who didn't even know you existed until you comment and you copied me and you did and I didn't. And humans. I know I'm human too. You ain't got to rub it in. But it's just so, I'm just like with these people, sometimes I'm like, I'm having a hard time claiming it. I think soon I'm going to need therapy to accept being a human. I'm going to need therapy. I am. Because this shit is for the birds. They agree. I'm sure they agree. Because they probably just like, y'all stupid humans, y'all out here paying to live and eat. And, we just free. It's for the birds. But you know what? When I'm not annoyed, I see the beauty in it. So, okay, let me stop. But number one, fam, do not let people tell you how and what. There's no wrong and right way about this journey, right? Because like what works for you may not work for somebody else, and what works for them may not work for you, right? There's no wrong or right way about it, so don't let anybody tell you the way that you're doing things is wrong or anything like that. Don't let people tell you how to be. That's number one. And if you are living a life where you are not allowing people to tell you how to navigate your journey, you are being authentic. That's number one. I repeat, I am not a teacher or a coach or anything of that nature. I am a multifaceted, multidimensional being, sharing my spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakenings, experience and symptoms with you, whatever I've been through and learned through my 44 years of life, allowing that as well as what I've read and learned to be some kind of guide to help many of you or confirmation for many of you along your journey, and creating what I see as art. To me, this is my art. Decorating myself, being out in beautiful nature. The people who actually inspired me would be Infinite Waters, Victor Odo. Well, they actually helped me along my journey, but when I first started watching Infinite Waters videos, which my oldest daughter is who introduced him to me, at that time, you couldn't pay me to believe that I was going to make YouTube videos. Like what? Like I never would have even guessed. So I was called to make these videos, but the idea of making my videos in nature, that came from Infinite Waters. Infinite Waters and Victor Odo, those people were very, they played a huge part in helping me through my journey when I first started discovering what I was going through in 2019. So let me just make that clear first. This is my art. This is to raise the vibration, to help people feel better about this journey, because it can be very lonely. So that's what I'm here to do. And let me tell you something, fam. What you put out is what you get back. Because sometimes if I'm feeling down, I'm like having a rough day, I'll get a notification sometimes from a comment randomly from somebody. And I mean, these comments that you guys, they're so beautiful that you make me cry. Yeah, y'all be making me cry sometimes if I'm already emotional, and then you guys leave these beautiful comments. It shows me that it's a reflection of what I'm putting out. That's what I'm getting back from you, these beautiful, uplifting comments that I need sometimes, that helps me along my journey. So thank you, fam. Thank you. Number 2, you know how to be vulnerable. So a lot of people feel like if they are vulnerable, it makes them weak, which is the exact opposite. It's when you are afraid to be vulnerable that makes you weak, and it shows your weakness. A lot of people are not vulnerable because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of what somebody's going to think about them, and so on and so forth. So instead, you hold back what you really feel and what you really want to express and what you really want to share because of the fact that you are afraid to be vulnerable. That is the weakness. It takes a lot of strength to just be who you are and admit how things make you feel. And when somebody has something to say about it, you just tell them, let me stop. I'm about to not be nice. Okay. Stop being afraid to be vulnerable. And if you are being vulnerable, now I'm not saying that you need to go out here and just be vulnerable with everybody, tell everybody how you feel, and because there's still like a balance. Like, you don't want to be being super vulnerable with somebody that's not giving that back to you. So I'm not saying do that. And sometimes people will use your vulnerability against you, to try to use it as a weakness. But there's a balance. There's a way you learn how to do it. And many times when you do it, and when you can be vulnerable, that is a sign of being authentic. That means that you are authentic when you're not afraid to be vulnerable. Now, you can protect yourself and not be vulnerable at certain times because you know that it's not a good idea. But being afraid to be vulnerable, that's a weakness. So if you can be vulnerable the right way, that's a sign that you are authentic. Number 3, you take responsibility for your actions and mistakes, which you don't even have to look at as mistakes. A lot of the things that we deal with in our life is due to our own decisions and stuff that we, choices that we make. And so we, a lot of times, play a huge part in our own unhappiness. So rather than sitting back, pointing out what is wrong with everyone and what they did to you and what a victim you are and they did this and you look at yourself and you decide that in order to protect yourself from going through those experiences, you're going to change the way you do things. You're going to look at what's wrong with you and what's the reason that you made certain choices or why you allowed certain things in your life. So you realize that you play a huge part in your own unhappiness, and you have no problem with taking responsibility for your own actions and the part that you played in all of your experiences. That's another sign that you are authentic. Number 4, you're not focused on pleasing everyone. You understand that focusing on pleasing everyone only takes away from what it is that you are meant to experience. And I don't know how many times I've said it. Some people are not meant to go with you where you're going. And when you try your best to hold on to situations and people and keep them in your life longer than they're supposed to be there, you ain't going where you're supposed to be going either. Well, you know what? Yeah, you are. If the universe will find an interesting way to make shit come crashing down in flames to force you in the direction that you're meant to go in. So if you're not out here focused on satisfying everyone, saying what people want to hear rather than what they need to hear, then you are being authentic. And number 5, you take pride in your uniqueness. Don't be out here trying to fit in with these humans, fam. Don't be out here trying to fit in with these humans. You are not meant to fit in. I remember when I was in high school, I used to dress really weird. You know, I was different and I was, you know, just doing what I do. You know I looked like a weirdo to some people, but that was my style and that's who I was. But as I became an adult, I actually started to try to fit in. It was almost like if you can't beat them, join them. And that's all I was around. So I would try to be like everyone else, try to fit in and do what everyone else is doing. And it never worked. I never fit in. It never worked for me like it worked for them. Because I wasn't meant to fit in. You're not meant to fit in, fam. That's what makes you authentic. That's what makes you unique. Just be who you are, fam. You don't have to fit in with these humans, okay? I know I be saying humans like I ain't a human, but you know what I mean. So fam, before I end the video, let me just tell y'all how my spirit guides got me together last week. Basically, when I was all hot and bothered and getting ready to go and make a video and be all, my spirit guide said, sit your hot head ass down, sit down, and before you go out there in divine harmony land, spewing all kind of negativity. Sit your ass down. So here I am. I go drop my kids off to school, 7-something in the morning. I'm going back to the house and I'm ready to just come and go say some slick shit. I'm just ready, right? Then a friend of mine called me from Miami, random, 8 in the morning, and he don't never call me at the time like that. And it wasn't even for anything important, just to chat. So by the time I get off the phone with him, I'm like, don't go make that video, Nadia. Don't do it. Don't do it. Give yourself time to cool down and respond instead of react. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, it's funny now. Now I can laugh about it. You know, I was annoyed. It wasn't funny then, but I can laugh about it now. So basically, I think my spirit guides hollered at one of my friends and was like, call Nadia right quick. Call her right quick. Let's distract her hot-headed ass. You know what? I think they set me up with this chart. They set me up with this astrology chart. Because especially, I don't know if it was the full moon in Libra that we just had, but I noticed that all of my signs, like, okay, so my Libra sun is like peace and love and harmony and balance and let's all have fun and let's dance and let everyone be happy. That's the Libra side, unless it's unbalanced Libra. And then my Sagittarius rising is like, who wants some? I'll give you what you want. I will give you what you want. Who want it? You know? And then my Pisces moon is like, I can't take this anymore. They set me up. They set me up with this chart. Like, what is this? Life path 11, day number 22, all these intense energy numbers. Like, they set me up. And I chose this, y'all. I chose this. I can't wait to have a conversation that I could remember, because I probably done already did it with astral projection, but I would love to communicate with some of my ancestors with the divine, and I want to ask them. So y'all basically just sat by and let me sign up for that, like, and just was like, go ahead, you got this. Y'all let me sign up for this shit. That's what y'all did, huh? Y'all who sat by and watched me choose this life? Who did it? Who did it? Okay, I just be tripping sometimes. I'm grateful for life, okay? I'm grateful for it, but I know sometimes I'm annoyed by it, you know? I'm just being authentic. Anyway, fam, I gotta get out of here. I just wanted to make this right quick because I didn't do it last week, but I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace and blessings.